You're watching the USA Network.
Raven.
Oh, what time is this?
Well, it's early. Since we've got the sleigh ride at 9, I thought we ought to have breakfast before we leave.
Oh, yeah. I want a big breakfast. I want eggs and bratwurst and potatoes and pancakes.
Well, you may have to settle for coffee and croissants, dear, unless we get into town within, about an hour.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready. You know, this is the first time in my life I don't mind getting up in the morning. I used to think that only roosters and peasants did that. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Yes, there is. There's something the matter. I can tell.
Well, I almost didn't wake you just now. You seem to be having such an interesting dream.
Oh, I don't remember it, but it must have been about you.
No, I don't think so. You see, you were mentioning the name Damien.
I was?
Mm-hmm. Maybe I shouldn't have woken you. Maybe it was just getting interesting.
Oh, no. It wasn't that kind of a dream.
I thought you said you couldn't remember it.
Well, I remember a little of it now. It took place in the mansion.
Damien was in our house. Looking very much at home?
No, baby, it wasn't anything like that. There's nothing, really.
Despite a late rally, stocks ended up on the downside, with the weakest being energy-related stocks. The Dow Jones average was off 3 cents on the New York Exchange, 2 cents on the American. That's the business news, and here's the local report at 5 minutes past midnight. From Monticello Police Headquarters, the report of an attempted escape and shooting. A prisoner, Rupert Chummy Davis, seized the firearm of a police detective and fired at point-blank range, but he was quickly apprehended by other police in the vicinity. The wounded officer was Detective Damien Tyler, who only 3 weeks ago was the victim of another criminal assault during an investigation. There's a rumor, still unconfirmed, that tonight's shooting was related to that case, which resulted in the arrest of New York underworld figure Eddie Lorimer. As yet, there is no word on Detective Tyler's condition.
Do you have him in surgery?
Look, gentlemen, all I can tell you is that he is alive. No decision about surgery has been made yet.
Where is the bullet wound? We heard it was point-blank range. In the chest?
It was in the chest, but that's all I can tell you right now.
You were in there an awful long time, Chief. How come you know so little?
Because I'm a police officer, not a doctor. Now, if you guys will excuse me, I've got something...
What is the connection between this case and
Is
Eddie
it
Lorimer?
true? Is it true that it wasn't an escape attempt at all, just revenge?
Gentlemen, I said I'd make a formal statement from my office tomorrow. Please, no more
geez,
questions.
come on, give us a
tonight.
break. Come on, don't you guys know that it's after midnight?
Go on home to your wives and sweethearts.
Sure.
Well, Miles, what are you doing here so late?
Well, a little emergency of my own. Patient with cardiac arrest.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, that's all right. There's not much I could do. The guys down in CCU did a heroic job of bringing her back. Well, I just thought as long as I was here, I'd get you to tell me about Damien Tyler.
Still in surgery, that's all I know.
Well, didn't she get any kind of prognosis?
Miles, you know I don't like to take wild guesses on things like that. The outlook looks good. His vital signs are fine, and his general health is strong.
Well, that's a relief. Yeah, poor guy. Ending up here 2 times in 1 month.
Yeah, that's no coincidence, I'll tell you.
Well, really, the 2 cases are connected?
The man who grabbed his gun and shot him was Chummy Davis. It was Eddie Lorimer's would-be partner. You know, I'm sure you heard that was a whole undercover operation.
Yes, so I gathered.
Well, we not only got Lorimer, but we got Davis and Davis's friends. It's been so long since anybody pinned anything on Davis, he got real upset about it all.
So, when he saw Damien at police headquarters, he just lost his head?
Right.
Oh, you're just not easy to convince, are you, Johnny boy? Every artist needs a patron. It's a great theatrical tradition.
Look, Smiley, one of the reasons I left L.A. was to get away from this whole old lady thing.
I understand why you feel that way about older women. I really don't. You know what Benjamin Franklin said? He said they're the best. That's right. He said that's because they're always so damned grateful for companionship. That's what we need. We need a wealthy lady who'll be grateful to us and generous.
I still don't like the idea. You know what I would like to do? Find a rich, young woman. That's what I would like to do.
Come on, who wouldn't like to find? You know what your chances are of finding a young gal who's loaded, willing to put up some bread for the company? Well, your odds are better sticking with the geriatric set.
Okay, if we decide to do this, I say if. I don't think you realize how difficult it really is. Rich widows don't hang out in singles bars. Like, for instance, those 2 over there.
Right. I saw 'em. Man, I said I'd make it easy for you, right? Well, I did some homework last night. You ever see this magazine?
No.
It's a regional magazine. A lot of big cities have them, like Los Angeles, Chicago, and L.A. Monticello happens to have one.
It's a little outdated, May 1981.
Well, there's a story in here, kind of interesting, called Ladies of the Arts.
What is it, a little social group or something?
No, it's about some wealthy ladies supporting the arts. And last May, they sponsored a symphony orchestra. Take a look at that.
Smiley, I don't know what you're thinking, but this woman here is ancient. She must be over 100 years old.
Well, turn the page. Now, that's, I'm sorry, that's a nice-looking lady. She headed up the whole thing.
Well, she sure does look rich.
She is rich. I mean, she is rich. And famous, too.
Famous? I don't want anything to do with any famous women, not with the press coverage we're going to get.
No, hey, forget that. That's a long time ago. No, one time she was married to a senator, Senator Gordon Whitney.
Hi, I'm Jenny Lee Harris.
And I'm Mike Jarek. We have the right man for you. Smart women, foolish choices. We'll talk about it next time.
Tomorrow at 2, 1 Central on USA.
If you're like most women, it would take a lot to convince you that one maxi pad is different from another. But this material will convince you. They call it dry weave, and it's the patented covering on Always maxi pads. Look, it's designed to give us a cleaner, drier kind of protection that simply didn't exist before. You're going to wish dry weave had come along a lot sooner.
Always, the touch of protection no other maxi has. And now with Always new carry and dispose pouches, it's never been easier to take Always with you.
These are the amazing Lee press-on nails. They press on in seconds. No glue, no mess. Simply press on Lee Super Stick tabs. Then press on Lee press-on nails. That's all. Easy on, easy off. Use them again and again. They just won't break or split. Polish, and they're nearly impossible to chip. So press on, Lee Press-On Nails. In natural and glamour lengths and a variety of sizes for a quick, easy fit. Press on.
This electronic timer will show how fast you can relieve sore throat pain.
My sore throat feels very red and hot.
Will you try Chloraseptic?
Sure.
Now watch the timer.
Oh, that's nice. That works really good.
With doctor-recommended Chloraseptic, relief is just seconds away.
What's Cloris Leachman's heartbreaking story after her son's tragic death? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
Is Jane Wyman's upcoming marriage on Falcon Crest already doomed? This week's National Enquirer tells you. What are 3 secrets to becoming a winner? Can the number of hours you sleep tell how long you'll live?
It's in the Enquirer.
How do men choose their mates? Find out in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
Awake.
Oh, you are so observant. Must be all those years and years and years of medical training.
I thought I told you not to wait up for me.
You know I don't sleep properly unless you're beside me. How's Mrs. Ernestine?
Yeah, they brought her around. She'll be yelling at the nurses tomorrow morning, same as usual.
Oh, good. So then was it really necessary for you to go in? Never mind. I know the answer to that. Oh, listen, while you were there, did you find out anything about Damien Tyler?
I tried. Didn't find out much. Couldn't even find out who was assigned to his case. I did run into Derek there.
Well, surely he must have known something.
No, all he was able to tell me was that Damien was alive and they hadn't made any decision on surgery yet.
That poor man, he just can't stay out of hospitals, can he?
No. Derek told me also that the 2 cases were related. Apparently there was some kind of an undercover operation and revenge was the motive in both cases.
Well, I'd really like to know whether he's going to be all right.
Well, Derek didn't seem to be able to tell me. Matter of fact, his reaction was kind of strange.
In what way?
Well, he didn't seem anxious to talk about it, didn't seem too worried. He just seemed to want to make a phone call, that's all.
Well, it must have been some important business.
I don't think so.
You think it was Jinx Avery?
I have a feeling that's who he was going to call, yeah.
Well, so what? Love makes the world go rounder, haven't you heard?
Certainly has got Derek in a spin. Taken him a long time to get on the merry-go-round. Now that he's on it, he's reaching for the brass ring.
Brass or gold?
I don't even want to speculate about that.
You know, I think maybe you should, tell your nurse Barbara about this little romance. That might stop her speculation.
I had a little talk with her today, Nicole.
Oh, no. I told her, I promised her that you wouldn't say
I
anything.
thought it was best if we had it out in the open. She didn't deny it. She admitted telling tales out of school.
I hope you weren't too rough on her.
No, I should have fired her. Are you kidding? But I didn't. There were a few tears, but I guess that's to be expected.
And so being the deeply compassionate man you are, you did the same thing you did to Jinx and put your manly arms around her.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm going to get into that cycle all over again. The only one I want my manly arms around is... Oh, no. Right here.
I'm glad to hear that.
I also told Barbara that if she wanted to do any more discussing of my love life, the only bit of gossip she could spread around was the scandalous way Dr. Kavanaugh adores his wife.
It's a time of cool winds, warm homecoming, and thoughts of things homemade. Like the moist, home-baked taste of Duncan Hines butter recipe cakes. Only Duncan Hines has a blend of ingredients that mix with your butter to make a cake so moist, every buttery taste says Duncan Hines. A taste worth coming home to. Butter recipe cakes from Duncan Hines. It's our moist, delicious way to bake your best.
In a perfect world, every stain would be seen and reported. But in the real world, most stains go unreported. right through the wash and into your dryer, where they could be set for life. But add Biz Bleach to your detergent and you have a strong second line of defense to catch many unreported stains and remove them before it's too late. In an imperfect world, pin your hopes on this. Unreported stains can't get by Biz.
If you're putting in long hours in your quest for the American dream, subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Working late won't be any more fun, but it might be more rewarding.
Call 800-527-9800 for this special introductory offer. 13 weeks for just $29.50 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.50. Phone 800-527-9800 now for the Wall Street Journal.
On the next cover story, singer Patti LaBelle talks about an overnight success story that was 21 years in the making.
Had I done it 10 years ago, I might not have treated it the way I'm treating it now.
And where she's headed.
I want to become, like I said, a household word. That's all I want to be. It's me.
Patti LaBelle on the next cover story. Saturday at 7:30 p.m., 6:30 Central on USA.
You are the menace in this house. And you are not going to interfere in our lives anymore because this may be the Whitney Mansion. But I am the mistress in this house. And you are no longer welcome.
That was rather a cruel thing to do to my poor wife, wasn't it, Geraldine?
You simply wanted Braven to hear the facts.
The lies. The lies.
I don't believe it's necessary to discuss this any further. But I want to assure you, Skylar, I have never made a more difficult decision in my entire life. You are my nephew. My only flesh and blood relative in this entire world.
Yes, that's true, isn't it?
I honestly believe that you know more about this case than you're willing to admit. You lied about the watches. And I'm convinced that you lied. Because you were in the dance studio that night before the police arrived.
Will you stop her? Because this is getting
Tell me
ridiculous.
something, Geraldine. If you believe that I was in the dance studio that night, do you also believe that I hit Miles Cavanaugh on the head and knocked him unconscious?
No, of course not. That's
Could you believe that I would allow Gunther Wagner to bleed to death? Is that what you think?
Skylar, I don't want to cover this ground anymore. I have said what I've had to say. I simply want you to know that I did it to help that poor young man. Did I do the right thing? Is it really true about Skylar? And if it is true, then there's something very wrong about my nephew. Something frightening.
Skylar,
Yeah.
I just want to tell you one thing.
What's that?
I have never, ever loved a man as much as I love you. And you've made me so happy. And I just want you to know that.
Ja. Sehr grüß Gott, sehr gut. What he just said was that he and his wife felt that they were as happy as we looked when they first got married.
Oh, good news.
Yeah. See the big smiles on their
Yes.
faces?
Someday we'll be that old.
Yep.
Never.
The brakes on.
Whoa, we are right on the edge. The edge. You've been acting so strange lately, though.
Well, a lot of it has to do with being back here where it all began. You can understand that.
But I mean, when we were back in Monticello, you seemed so preoccupied with something.
Well, every
You were
time I
acting
turned
so...
around, there was another police officer at the
Yes,
door for one
I
thing.
know.
got Tyler on my tail. Well, I think I've seen the last of him. I certainly hope so.
But now you're back to normal.
Yes, my love. Enjoy the mountains and the trees and the air. Drink it all in, as I am. I want so much for us to be happy while we can.
Oh, I'm so glad you came over, Derek.
Sweetheart, I would have been here hours ago if I could have. Only something as serious as this would have kept me away.
Well, when I heard the news on the radio about the shooting at headquarters, I had two awful thoughts.
What were they?
Well, the first one was, dear God, don't let it be Derek. Let it be anyone else. Let it be the whole department, but not Derek.
What was the other one?
Well, the other one was, darn that policeman for getting himself shot. Because that'd mean you either be late or you wouldn't come at all.
Maybe I shouldn't have come.
Why not?
Maybe I should have stayed at the hospital with my officer. But I couldn't. I need a drink, may I?
No, you may not. You sit down and I will serve. But he's going to be all right, isn't he? I mean, the man that was shot?
Yeah, he'll live. He'll be out of commission for a while.
Well, then there's no reason that you couldn't have come over anyway, is there?
I don't know about that. I've always been the kind of officer who was very conscientious. My work is always in the forefront of my mind. Now suddenly, take second place.
To what?
To what? What do you think? To you. All I think about is you. My first thoughts in the morning when I wake up. You're my last thought at night when I go to sleep.
I'll bet you don't dream about me.
Well, if I don't, it's just my mind taking a rest.
Well, I don't want you to worry about it. You'll get used to it. And things will cool down. I mean, take my word for it. All romances do eventually.
I don't want things to cool down. I like the heat.
Well, that's the way love is. Ask anybody.
I don't want to ask anybody. I want to ask you. I want to hear you tell me that this is going to last for always. Does that word scare you?
No, I love it. I love the word. Just like I love you.
Look at them potatoes.
Where are they going, Grandma?
Mommy, what's happening to the potatoes?
Introducing the chip that's eating all the potatoes. Pringles Rippled Potato Chips. Every can has more potatoes than before, and every chip rippled thick to bring out the extra hearty, extra delicious taste. So eat the chip that's eating all the potatoes. Pringles Rippled Potato Chips.
Well, my world was dull and gray. Hadn't felt the sun in days. Tried new Citrus Hill Select. What a wonderful effect. And my day gets going and my juices get flowing. Citrus Hill Select goes right to the heart. 'Cause the heart is where it's pure. It's my daily sunshine cure. Citrus Hill Select gets your juices flowing. Citrus Hill Select gets your juices flowing.
An hour from now, there'll be 50,000 fans here, eating, drinking, cheering, and groaning. Some of those fans will leave here not feeling so well. Whether it's heartburn, upset stomach, even diarrhea, they can all take one remarkable medicine for relief. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto-Bismol relieves what's wrong, relieves it, then leaves a protective coating behind. Pepto-Bismol. For most common stomach discomforts, the one that coats is the only one you need.
It's the racing showdown we've been waiting for between old Spick and Span and new no-rinse Spick and Span. And they're off!
Heck, Don, I gotta say, I'm real impressed with new no-rinse Spick and Span. It's got the same great cleaning power, but doesn't streak like you-know-who.
They're in the home home stretch.
And old Spick and Span, in a tailspin, it's going back to rinse.
That makes new Spick and Span our winner. It's faster to the finish because there's no rinsing.
What are we going to do about those two, Nicole?
Derek and Jinx?
Yeah, what do we do about them? We just stand by, let it happen, not say a word?
I think that's what she wants.
That's what she tells me she wants.
Well, why don't you just accept her at her word? You really don't have any choice.
Usually a physician does have a choice. In cases of terminal illness, he's supposed to be able to tell anybody if it'll help the patient.
Yeah, but if the patient herself requests it.
Yeah, that's the trouble. It's the patient in this case. And Derek isn't even a member of the family, just a friend. Wish the Hippocratic Oath covered this kind of a situation.
You know, I bet Nancy would be able to convince Jinx to tell Derek the truth.
There's only one problem with that solution.
What?
In order to get Nancy's help, we'd have to tell her.
Well, then there's only one hope, to just wait and hope that Jinx tells Derek herself.
Or to hope that their little romance doesn't get too serious.
What's the matter?
You know, when two people want to see as much as possible of each other, maybe the only solution is for them to get married.
Married?
Now, I'm just trying to be practical. I know you think I rush into things, but that's the kind of decisive person I am. That's what's made me what I am. Sometimes when I look at you, I just don't know where I am. Marry me, Jinx. Marry me.
Real witches can take on many forms, transforming from one to another right before your very eyes. Or maybe witches are pure fantasy. Time Life Books presents The Enchanted World, the fascinating series that takes you back to the legends, myths, and spellbinding folktales of ages past, into the realm of witches, wizards, ghosts, and goblins. Dare to enter this world where everything is not as it seems, where an innocent traveler such as you can find yourself on dark paths in perilous lands, inhabited by strange and magical beasts, where valiant warriors overcome impossible odds for the sake of the quest, where ancient mystics defy the very laws of nature. Start your journey into the enchanted world with the first book, Wizards and Witches. You'll encounter powerful sorcerers and sirens weaving their sinister spells, meet masters of forbidden arts as they probe the unexplainable. Then continue your journey through the mysterious with night creatures, magical beasts, and ghosts. Each is luxuriously bound, superbly written, and rich in beautiful illustrations and masterworks of art. So enter a world you may have seen but never recognized. Enter the enchanted world.
After all, how can you be sure witches don't exist if you don't know what one looks like?
To order your first book, call now, 1-800-228-1010. It will be sent to you free for 10 days. Keep it and pay just $14.95 plus shipping and handling. Others will follow about one every other month. Keep the ones you want. Cancel anytime. So call 1-800-228-1010.
You're watching the USA Network.